Wildlife biologists study mountain goats to learn how they're surviving. And to do that, they have to start climbing. To get where wildlife biologists Holly Miyazaki and Molly McDevitt work, it first takes a few hours in the saddle and a several thousand-foot climb.
Mountain goats are really interesting. They live in limited, rugged terrain in the state. They have a slow reproductive rate, so the populations normally don't grow very fast.
The Idaho Department of Fish and Game manages mountain goat populations throughout the state, but first they have to find them.
So we survey mountain goats, and when we do that, mostly from helicopters right now.
While helicopters are convenient, they're also expensive, and mountain goats don't like the noise.
Mountain goats are sensitive to human disturbance, and some of that comes in the form of recreation, like snow machines or helicopters. And if there's enough human disturbance, enough people bothering them repetitively, they will leave really the best habitat and go somewhere else to get away from people. And when they leave the best habitat, that often means that they'll have fewer kids, their survival rate will be lower, so we'll ultimately have fewer mountain goats.
So Miyazaki and McDevitt are looking for a better way to count mountain goats.
Ah, the boy. There you go.
They're climbing Sheep Creek Trail up the mountains on the Idaho side of the Tetons. The first several hours are on horseback, but when it gets too steep,
You guys ready for our adventure?
they have to continue the climb on foot. McDevitt and her crews are spending the summer testing new methods to count mountain goats.
One of them being cameras, so we can kind of see what mountain goats are doing in the landscape when we're not there. And the other is hiking around from the ground and trying to see if we can have two people figure out how many mountain goats there are and compare each other's counts. And that gives us a really good count for how many mountain goats there are.
We've got goats down here. Isn't that cool looking? Do you see the one standing up kind of behind where the other ones were?
After observing the goats, they use their phones to log data.
And this is the tricky part. I have to identify whether those goats are males or females, and it's tough. And I saw two kids, and then I say where I am, and then I estimate where they are, and collect some other information about the group, and then now we've recorded where mountain goats are in the Palisades. It's pretty cool.
The reason I'm working with mountain goats right now is because we don't know a lot about mountain goats, and so there's a big gap in our knowledge.
Oh, they're just up walking around.
And the goal is to be able to take these methods and apply them to different habitats and different mountain goat populations because they behave differently, and see how they work in those different areas.
And there's a very practical reason for having accurate numbers.
And if we can have a good count for how many mountain goats there are, then we can know, okay, maybe we should adjust the way that we are interacting with the landscape where these mountain goats live before maybe those populations go down too fast. Or conversely, we find out, like here in the Palisades, that mountain goat populations are growing really fast and they're doing really well. And we'd like to know that. And so I think that's one of the big reasons why we want to count mountain goats.
I'm really curious what they're going to bring back.
Miyazaki, McDevitt, and her team will continue their research to see if combining old-fashioned hiking around with new handheld computer technology is a better way to count mountain goats and to help them thrive.
Yes, you're doing good.
I feel so lucky to be in this field. I think when I was a little kid, I didn't know you could be a biologist. And now I'm being not only a biologist, I'm being the exact kind of biologist I want to be.
If you want to learn more, head to the Science Trek website or check our related videos. And if you like Science Trek, be sure to click the subscribe button to catch our newest videos.